I don't think I've ever realized these were bookshelves in here. Look at that, I'm gaining all kinds of stuff.
Hello there.
Oh, that's right. I think... Are you still working, or were you working for a school district, or our old school district, or something like that, if I recall?
You radiate an aura of power.
Your hobbies become your job. Well,
Does this
you know,
mean you have the books?
you gotta appreciate that at least. That's pretty cool, huh?
Tests? Well, that's a start, I suppose. What of Charlador? He was drawn away from here in a burst of light.
You know, I've had a little bit of...
Good. I'll start
Just
trying
because of
to
my
get
little
this right.
sisters
I
and
hope
moving out here to
Charlador's
the
right.
Midwest, I've had a little bit of experience with large school districts. And just, you know, met some of the faculty, heard some of what goes on at these schools with 1,000 kids. We had it good. We really had it good.
Zark says his backside. Then this is going to take a while. Check in at a guild hall from time to time. I'll leave word for you.
Oh yeah, yeah, get those certs, man.
In the meantime, keep an eye out during...
I don't know. I had an
There are many
opportunity
books
where,
to
like, my employer was going to pay for me to get all the
Yes, any one of
certs.
these books may help us restore Shalador's lost island.
I don't know. I like to think that I messed it up, but I left that position because I didn't like the culture at that store. And I love the culture where I'm at now, but I'm not the IT guy, so there's no reason for me to try and get my certs now. Oh yeah, man. I mean, we had to give people perspective. We had 400 kids total across 9th through 12th grade at our school, and only about maybe 250 to 300 graduate, you know, kids who are going to graduate out of that 400. But it was much different where we grew up. These places with tons of kids, they're at such a disadvantage because they just can't, even if, you know, they need help and they can't get attention. Everybody's going to have some little thing that they struggle on and need a little help on. Oh, I appreciate, that's a nice compliment. I appreciate you saying that. Well, I definitely could get the certs, but I just didn't want to pay for them.
You're still upright on two legs.
I want to spend that money on other stuff, you know, like video games or high-speed broadband or something. There's important stuff going on. Whoa, that's cool. That note like stayed in my face while I was moving.
Pardon me, I must begin this translation.
Thank you so much, by the way. Thank you for the help on my OBS settings because, yeah, my stream is so much higher quality now. This is way cool. This is what I needed. You know, the kids in big schools, they get wrapped up in drama, man. They fight and they don't have, I don't know, unless they're really dedicated to their own education, which is something you typically don't learn until you're like going to college and you realize, oh shit, I'm paying for this, like I should try to get something out of it. I don't know, it seems like these kids in these big public schools, they get the short end of the stick, man. Yeah, you really helped me a lot on this. I should play and talk a little bit less, because this is a pretty good looking game. I mean, it's not, obviously it's an MMO, So I mean, you almost don't want like the absolute best graphics in an MMO. I would say it's it needs to run good on a lot of machines, be accessible, and have an amazing amount of stuff going on at the same time and not slow down and not have lag. Yeah, high school is drama, but when you pay for college, it's just like, it's a whole new world. You're automatically, you don't have to earn any respect. The faculty already loves and respects you because like you're their livelihood, and they want to help you. They're an expert in their field, and they want to help you. You know, learn what you need to know. They're there to help, and it's just awesome. God, I love college. I want to go back, but I can't afford it. It's a shame how much it costs in this country. Dude, your shirt is stupid. Yeah. Do you remember? I don't think you were there in the locker room when it happened, but that time Kurt Ravadenato was wearing that shirt that he probably shouldn't have even brought to school. And just that he put it on for 1 second to show it off, and as he turned around and like started to take it off, that was when, oh, what was our principal's name? I loved the guy too. I can't remember his name all of a sudden. He just happened to walk into the locker room right at that moment. It was a bad deal for Kurt, but pretty hilarious overall. Where am I even going? Okay, I need to go right, like here. Talk to this dude. So have you played any of this game yet? Did you get it on beta or anything?
Ah, someone new to talk.
Nice red beard, bro. That's pretty sick.
Specific or just to say hello? A strange vine, unusually thick and covered in thorns, in the city. Son of a troll! I've seen such vines to the north. They're connected to the Bloodthorn cult. A clear indication that be wary of those vines. Wherever they appear, the Bloodthorn cult isn't far behind.
I have questions about what you just said. Tell me more, please.
Led by the cursed Reachman, Angoth the Gravesinger. I heard they were causing trouble north of Glenumbra. They must be getting bolder if they're operating in Daggerfall.
Yeah. I beta tested this game for about a year, almost a year. I got in not like early beta, but relatively early. There were so many bugs at release. I don't think they expected that many people to subscribe right off the bat, and like the servers weren't ready for it, and there were some legitimate flaws in the code. I stopped my sub for about 4 or 5 months, came back, and I'm stoked now. I'm so happy with everything they've done. I think they've totally fixed all my big problems that I noticed.
Those magic cursed savages from the border.
And Arcade, you know what? I played Arcade to about level 20, loved it, thought it was really good, because I like Tryon, I liked Rift. I got a max tune on Rift. I haven't played in about a month, but Arcade's just made me want to come back to ESO, because I was already hearing about all the fixes and how they made so many improvements, already added a bunch of content. Yeah, Arcade, I loved it, but it just made me want to play ESO.
Angoth and the Bloodthorn cult use them for some foul purpose. If you see the vine,
Foul
it means
purpose.
The cult is active in the area. The vines spread an evil poison through the soil. It's a hateful substance that kills everything it touches.
Sounds delightful. Let's go get some. Alright, you know what I should do is go snag this lore book while I'm thinking about it. When you were playing, you were trapped, and when you weren't playing, you were trapped.
For the Knights of the King.
Well, yeah. Night of the King. I know what you mean, man. Like, we grew up on Elder Scrolls titles. It's like a huge part of who we are. I know for me anyway, it's like, I've played, well, back in the day, Morrowind was probably the first game that I played so much that I actually had dreams many, many nights set in Morrowind. Like, I was playing that game in my sleep. I probably have several thousand hours in Morrowind alone. It's like a huge part of my childhood. It's a big part of who I am today. The Code of Moloch. It's probably a good book, but I'm not gonna read all that. Not right now. As soon as you look at a book or note, it does save it in your journal. You can go back.
In the name of the king.
Yeah. Yeah, gotta have your lore book archive. So do you actually play? Well, yeah. I think I knew that back in the day that you actually do play StarCraft 2. I never bought that game, and I always felt guilty about it, but I just never got around to getting it. And it's been like so much time has passed now.
I'm going to be next.
Oh yeah. It's not like you have to read it. It's just there if you want it. If you're bored.
Murder. My friends are already dead, but the watch doesn't care. What's one less beggar?
Oh, you never played it either? You just like watching the World Championships?
Start in the Trade District alleys. That's where old Gian was murdered just yesterday.
Oh, good.
Maybe Lieutenant Dubois will give you a reward if you do his job for him. Thank you.
You better.
It's a thing to be poor. You're invisible. No one cares. I'll tell you whatever I know. The watch found old Gian last night. The night before, it was Ragged Ron. When one of us dies, they blame the core.
Their macro? Oh, yeah.
But Gian and Ron were planning something horrible.
It's well, and I mean, yeah, but, dude. Some of my fondest memories are when we were at your house building Warcraft 1 maps for each other to play and bringing them to school on floppy drives and such. Those were good times. All that time spent in the old Warcrafts. That's the only reason that I played World of Warcraft for as long as I did. Probably a few. I held out for a few years, and then I played it for a few years, and then I totally lost interest in it for a long, long time.
Can you believe it? A wolf in the city?
Can you believe it?
Who am I to say any different? Still, it feels more everywhere. We're easy prey. Some folks just don't like us. Take your pick. This killer isn't stopping. It's brutal.
Oh yeah, dude. Good times. We were both pretty lucky to have gaming class computing hardware in our house from a pretty young age. And computers were not cheap. I mean, they're not cheap now, but back then computers were really expensive. You can put together a pretty amazing machine now. Dude, I actually logged into Mume, it wasn't that long ago, like less than 30 days ago, and made a tune and ran around a little bit. I'm still familiar with it. I could still rock a little Mume. What I've played a lot,